Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the post-show live chat, where we're going to be talking about everything that went down this past episode of The Bachelorette.
Is that
Is that
echo?
echo?
Good. How are we doing, everybody? Are we still getting echo going? Let me know how it is. We good? Okay. All right, perfect. Sorry about that. I'm working on some things. Here we go. We're gonna maybe up the volume here. Okay. How's it going? I'm working on it, everybody. I've got a bit of a new setup going, so you're gonna have to forgive me a little bit. But I'm working on some new things here with my stream setup, and my OBS had to completely reset. I'm gonna get to the super chats. I'm gonna get to everything, but first, I want to say hello to everybody. Got a little surprise for you. Check it out, and I'm gonna work on the volume in a second. How's it going, everybody? The can is here for the birthday. Mad Echo. Echo's back. Gosh darn it. Alright, I'm going to delete some things here. And we're going to get on with the show. So, yeah, I guess the camera sound is on. How do I... Give me just a second, everybody, to double check some of the things. That must be the problem here. Sorry for the technical difficulties, everybody. Let me see if that worked. Everything's falling apart this time. All right. How are we doing now? Is there echo? Yeah, hot mess. Sounds good? All right. So, yeah, okay. We figured it out, everybody. High five for everyone in the chat. Thank you for the help. Thank you for the technical help going on here. Yeah, I guess it was the camera. So, welcome everybody to the post-show chat. Only a few minutes late because of my technical blunders, but we've made it. All right, we've made it. I've made a few changes here. I've got some setup going on. You'll notice the cam is all set up. I've got a few little soundboard goodies here. If anyone has to send me any like really nice messages, I'll respond with the traditional Matt James. And I want to do more stuff like that. And I can make smoother transitions, like to the rules for the chat. Number 1, welcome everybody. Please, though, if you're in the chat, no posting any blatant spoilers. This is the typical rule that we've got going on here. Of course, anything that you've sleuthed out, your opinions on sleuthing, totally welcome in the chat. Anything from an official source like a Bachelor or Bachelorette or Bachelor in Paradise account, totally welcome. Sometimes they accidentally spoil things, and I think that's okay. But if they spoil something like that, even though it's public domain, I will have a sort of warning signal for anybody, because that's something maybe people don't want to know, even though it's from an official source. So I don't know. I'll have some sort of like a signal, like
warning, 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 warning,
before any kind of spoiler like that comes out, a major sleuthing spoiler that was perhaps a blunder. Also, we've got super chats, and I've seen the super chat. Asia's super chat, and I'll get to it. We're late because you know, I had the camera audio going like a goof. And also, any spamming, any violation of YouTube policies, it's going to get your message removed, possibly you even timed out or banned. And last but not least, be kind to each other, everybody. So, let's get to it. And a new membership too. Yes, thank you for that. Can get lost in the chaos of everything that was happening before. So let's get to talking about night 1. We're going to talk a little bit about preview breakdowns coming out. Definitely guys, or at least one guy for sure, who was in my is going to be in my top 4 already. And we got some juicy previews coming out, and off season is over. We're back. So let me get to Asia's super chat here. I've got it down. That new preview was something. It gave a lot of insight onto what's to come. All I'm wondering is, why is Blake there? Did I miss something? No. So Blake, if you missed it, he was in one of the previous preview breakdowns. The shot of Blake doing, the boombox thing. So Blake from Tayshia's season is going to be a part of, I guess in the next episode or two, it has to be. Korn, welcome. thank you for becoming a member. Really appreciate it. Thank you for the support. He's going to be here. Typically, though, the new additions, depending on when they come, don't do very well. I don't have a lot to... I'll have to go through the preview and see if he has a strong, showing there. But I think there are some other guys that might come ahead of Blake. And typically, returning cast members, unless they have a real outside connection or they've talked with and met with the lead, don't do so well. Nick Viall is one of the exceptions to that. But then again, I only saw a bit of this preview at the end here. It kind of goes by so quick, and I'm preparing to get on camera and knock everything over and cause giant echoes. So there's a lot of details you can miss, but over the next 2 days I'll be breaking that down. Oh yeah, and also it's my birthday. It is my birthday.
It is your birthday, period.
It's a statement of fact.
Not even an exclamation point?
This is more professional.
Won't happen again for 7 years. But the new preview, I'd say going into the last bit of preview, I was eyeing maybe 2 guys, and the previews really show us what we need. They show us the one-on-ones, some of the fake outs, who the guys are, the producers' guys that they want us to get to know. So a lot more insightful. Now I have a closer group of guys that I've got my eye on, mixed with the edits tonight. And Kaleidosaurus, thank you so much for the super chat. And suddenly we have to reevaluate everything because silly costume gimmicks work, because Katie's a goof and Connor is definitely going far. Also, we back woo. Thank you, Kaleidosaurus, for your consistent, and Asia, both of you, always in chat, always participating. It doesn't go unnoticed. We back, absolutely. Yeah, typically the silly costume gimmicks don't go far in any season, but Katie's different. She isn't more of a goof, and joking and nerdiness and weirdness seems to go further with her than with other people. So we might have to reevaluate Connor, whereas before he might not have done so well in the rankings. And G Easty as well, thank you for the super chat. I'm gonna make use of that a lot. I'm hoping to add a lot more too. I've got about 5 here soundboards. If someone needs to get banned, you're getting this one. But back to the question. Blake and Katie make sense because they are both cat people, but will their cats get along? Asking the really important questions. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Statistically, when you go on the show as a previous contestant, it doesn't end up well. And even the times it does end up well, you don't typically win the season. But maybe that's in recent years. Maybe I'm just blinded by Heather's in and out from Matt James season. But I know a lot of people, even before, like when Katie was announced, were talking about Blake as someone who, I don't know, it's the, she's the sex positive one and he did the sculpture, penis sculpture. So, I'd like to think that there's more to both of them than just that. So, we'll see if they actually are a connection. But if Blake is in the previews a lot, they were small areas. And it probably has more to do with Blake only being introduced at the very end. So I could say all of this, and he could be not very present in the preview, and then next week's preview, he suddenly blows up and he's in a ton of one-on-ones, and then we have to reevaluate that. So, but right now, I don't know if Blake's gonna... I think there are a few other guys that were in some really interesting shots. A couple of guys actually that surprised me. One guy that surprised me that I thought was not present really at all this episode, who's in there, who I have to really evaluate. What's his name? I still need a list of all the guys' names and pictures. I'd say there are a few guys that we saw in one-on-ones. Greg is someone who obviously I talked about in my previous video, and I'll talk about him later. I think it was Justin. I saw some one-on-one, like, really romantic shots with Justin that surprised me because I thought he was not really in the episode. But maybe I missed some of it. And Sarah H., thank you so much for the super chat. Happy birthday.
It is your birthday,
It's a
period.
statement of fact.
Not even an exclamation point?
This is more professional.
Thank you for that. I won't overuse that. Really, really appreciate the support. And John as well, John Kirkcaldy, love the new setup and happy birthday. Thank you as well. Really, really appreciate the birthday love in chat. All the super chats as well. Really, really appreciate it. And Dave Neal, how's it going? Happy B-Day. Have a couple beers on me. Thank you so much, Dave. And really, really appreciate it. Hope you have good streams going forward. Thank you for the super chat. I will definitely do that. And Brittany Hinton as well. Who was your guest for the first one-on-one date? So glad we're back in action. That's a really great question. I'll cover that in the preview breakdown. Because I feel like I can't give you a strong answer right away, because looking at a preview for the first time, it goes by so fast. But, once I start breaking it down, like, watching it 17 times, it's we'll probably have a stronger idea. But there's definitely, I've got my list of guys here. Like, going into the night, Greg was my strongest guy, and I still believe that I'm still going to peg him as number 2. That's something I can say confidently. The number 2 pick that I'm going to make in tomorrow's video is going to be Greg, for the reasons that I talked about in my preview breakdown with him. He's been the most showcased in all the previews, and typically I've been working on the theory that means you're number 2. And they like to keep the final one a little more hidden. And obviously he's in tons of romantic shots, multiple one-on-one bits, and got the first impression rose, which on The Bachelorette is another thing that has a like, if you get the first impression rose on The Bachelorette, with the exception of Tayshia's season, you typically go far. Whereas on The Bachelor, you typically don't win if you get the first impression rose. So. And Allison, thank you so much for the super chat. Happy B-Day. Wasn't a fan of Greg. Thoughts? Well, there's my thoughts on Greg. I don't know. I like, he seemed sort of shy, and he seems kind of... I have nothing against him so far, but like, you start to like a lot of these guys episode 1, and remember later on a lot of them are going to cause drama. So I feel like I like a lot of the guys so far, like, not all of them, but a lot of the guys this season so far I like. but I know that's gonna change. It always changes. They always disappoint you. And Madison Chandler, thank you as well for the super chat. Really, really appreciate it. Did you have your eyes set on a final pick yet? No, that's I don't quite have locked down who's going to be my final pick just yet. But we just got like 5 minutes from the start of the episode and at the very end of preview that I'm going to be looking at many times over the next 2 days and over tomorrow. So I'll do tomorrow my final pick, final 2, and final 4. And I probably won't decide. Usually I don't decide until an hour or 2 before the video goes out, and then I add that in kind of last. But I have an idea once I get like halfway through the day. But really my process is, first and foremost, get to a 4. And then from there, move on. Usually it's not terribly difficult to pick out 6 guys. Like, you can, from the footage, the editing tonight, and the amount of times people are in the previews, it's pretty easy to get 6 guys that stand out. It's just moving on from the 4 to the 3 to the 2 to the 1 that gets harder. But if you can get to a final 2, then you pretty much just have a 50-50 chance of picking it right. So at this moment, I don't have a rock solid 1. Greg is certainly the most showcase and has gotten the best edit. So I'm working on the idea that means he's runner-up right now. So that's where I'm moving on right now. And Katie, thank you so much for coming back, super chatting, and for the support. Happy to be back sleuthing another season. Cheers to Katie as the Bachelorette. Hope you have a great birthday. Thank you so much for the wishes. Thank you so much for the super chat. Really, really appreciate it. And Asiya again. I could just tell that Katie wasn't into RV guy. I still can't believe that he had his dirty boxers on display. I know, yeah. We saw way too many articles of underwear this episode, and yeah, no, not a good look. That's a gimmick. The cat gimmick works because Katie is such a cat person, but and he seemed like a genuinely nice guy. The RV, I don't know. And what was he? He's a surgical skin salesman. What? I'm sure that's like not as creepy as it actually sounds. I'm sure it's something like really important, but catches you off guard when you see that in the little graphic. And RVs. And Kaleidosaurus again, thank you so much. What was with that random fight with blow up doll guy Cody and some other guy? It was Aaron. Yeah, it was like 30 seconds of just like a fight that. Did I miss something or some build up to it? I missed it. If there was a build up to it, I missed it as well. It seemed to come like out of nowhere. Like I went. Did I take a bathroom break and come back and miss something huge? But I don't know. I also, because I'm reading someone else's comment about RV guy and it's like dirty dishes and stuff. There's part of me that's that wonders as a bit of a setup, right? Because a lot of these gimmicks, many of them, the producers present them to the contestants, or they not all, and a lot of contestants will come forward with their own thing, but sometimes they present one and say, here, do you want to do this? We'd like you to do this. For example, in Peter's season, there was someone named Savannah who was asked to show up in her, like, bra and panties, like lingerie, and have 2 dresses, and ask Peter which dress he wanted her to wear. And according to her, allegedly, when she said no, the producers didn't really like that. They didn't like that she wasn't playing ball, and so they kind of like cut her out of the season, and she fizzled out somewhere in the middle. Then there was, I can't remember her name, but someone from Matt James' season showed up with the exact same gimmick. And when she showed up with that, I immediately thought of Savannah. And so it's, sometimes it's pushed on them. And I wonder if they give this guy the RV. I don't know. It's conspiracy theory. And they throw in the dirty dishes and stuff, and makes for a good moment on TV, and then the guy gets canned immediately because Katie's season goes ew. Conspiracy. And Sandra D, happy birthday. Thoughts on the girls as hosts? I like so far Tayshia and Caitlin, and thank you for the super chat as well. I really, really appreciate it. I like it so far because they seem, I don't know, they seemed like they're like friendly. Like they seemed very supportive, like they actually were enjoying seeing someone else be the Bachelorette. And I don't know what their actual relationship with Caitlyn is, and I don't think they need to have one because both of those women were the Bachelorette. They were in Katie's shoes, so seeing Katie be the Bachelorette is fun for them. So I wonder if that's part of why I liked them as hosts, because they seem to be having a good time. And also, I'm Tayshia and Zach are like my peak Bachelor couple right now. So, can't go wrong there. Ramen Noob as well. Thank you for the super chat. Happy birthday, Fantake. Have a beer on me as well. My partner and I are happy to be back with you for the season from the small town of Chicago, RJ. What is RJ short for? RJ. Let me look it up. Chicago, because I thought I was about to say Illinois just out of habit. Chicago RJ. Well, thank you for the super chat. Why can't I type J? It's not showing. It's not showing me anything. Or is RJ your name? Oh, okay. I'm catching up. I thought it was Chicago RJ, like the state. Yeah, I'm catching up from the small town of Chicago, which is what they said on Matt James' season. I got you. Whew. Brain's not working so well tonight with the camera and the and all that. Whew. Okay, no, we're moving on. Teresa as well. Thank you so much for the super chat. Happy birthday. I love Bachelor Fantake. Keep up their great work. Thank you so much for the support and the kind words. Really, really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much, Teresa. All right, I think we've made it through the super chats. It's okay, man. Yeah, RJ is my name. Yes, I eventually got there. So, night 1 is done. RJ is the state. Yeah, hey. Canadian. Yeah, so far, I'll say I'm feeling good about the season. There's not many guys right off the bat that I am like there's no like Queen Victoria right away, that you're like, oh no, like this is not going to be fun for a few episodes. This is a little rich for me. So feeling excited tentatively, but it's the Bachelorette. The Bachelorette usually does better. And Heather House, thank you so much for the super chat. Happy birthday and welcome back. Did anyone else's heart break a little for Katie when she first stood in place for limos? She looked so nervous. Yeah, she did look nervous a lot. This even in like how they had her talking with Tasha and Caitlin, it just, I don't know, it seemed like she was really nervous. But you get in there, you start talking to people. There are going to be some guys that are going to really make you laugh or something, get you into the night, and get a drink or something, and you get going, because I'm sure once the episode, like filming the episode, I know it's a long day and night filming that episode. Once you get going though, especially if you're the lead, it's a lot of fun. You're talking to like 30, you're on like 30 little mini dates. So, and I think that showed. I think as the episode went on, she got less and less nervous. So yeah, so talking about top 4, to give you kind of the like heads up on what the all right, that's just, sorry sir, we gotta get get the spam out. So really, you've got 30 guys plus Blake, I guess. And all you have to really do is go one by one and mark if they got editing time and if they're on one-on-one or something in the previews, and then pull them out. So immediately you can look at guys apart from the ones that were eliminated, and say, like, no, not gonna happen. We can also take out guys like Carl, for example. And Carl in the previews, he's the one who was like doing the like fist bump stuff, like, or not the fist bump, like the boxing sort of stuff. Tells me that they're immediately setting up this guy for like one of the like feuding with another dude storyline, which typically happens because that he's not doing well in the season or something, or someone who's picking a fight with him isn't. So you can start to rule out the guys who are causing more drama amongst like the other dudes or white knighting. Start pulling them out, and typically by then you've got 6 guys, and then you just kind of go from there down to 4. So that's basically how I'm going to be doing my thought process for this season, for picking Final 4, Final 2, Final 1, with the exception of Greg. Who I have the theory on. He's the most showcased guy, and therefore won't win, but he'll go far. And they might even set him up for Bachelor. Might even set him up for Bachelor, which I talked about in my video. But I could be wrong. I'm running on a theory. So, who's my number 1 so far? I don't know yet. Honestly, I don't know right now. But I also haven't really broken down the preview, and the preview is the most important part of the deciding. Because up to this point, we hadn't got a whole lot of deep season previews. And tonight we got the huge, like, at the beginning and at the end, long previews. So those things go by really fast. It's once you slow them down and look, at each scene, each little spot, and start noticing things, that's when it becomes clear that, okay, this guy is on a bunch of one-on-ones, or this guy is in a situation that kind of looks like a fantasy suite, or this guy looks like he's breaking up with Katie or something like that later on. I'll definitely say one person, as I mentioned before, that I saw a bunch in the previews, and I'll point it out all in the preview breakdown. Justin, the investment sales consultant from Baltimore, Maryland. He was someone who I felt like I didn't really notice his presence all that much in the night one edit, but in tons of really, really high value shots in the preview. And Ivan, thank you so much for the super chat. Greetings from the preview of the season. What would be the jumping the fence moment? Maybe like the breakup. There's like some sort of breakup. There's at least a couple, but there's at least one where Katie's in the traditional like breakup baby blue and she's crying, and they showed it before. There's also seems to be another moment where she's, calling out everyone, saying like, if you're not here for the right reasons, get out. It's this audio clip. But I think the sort of like the big thing that they're teasing from the previews is that the sort of jumping the fence is some sort of breakup, some big breakup that happens, which is pretty common in the show. Pretty common. But thank you so much for the super chat. The soundboard sounds aren't going through anymore? Let me see. No audio on the soundboard ones? Well, gosh golly. I'll definitely... we're working out the kinks tonight on this. This is the first night with the with the soundboard stuff. So we'll get to working on that. I think also like I had to completely reset my whole stream OBS. But yeah, no, the soundboard ones seem to be having some trouble. That's okay. Rip sound. All right. Well, it was basically a sound clip of Katie in the green dress saying like, "There's the door. There's the door. If you're not here for the right reasons or whatever, there's the door." So. Yeah, and SHM Design, thank you as well for the super chat. Greg is my favorite, nerdy and shy. I think he goes top 4. Do you think he goes far? Absolutely. I've been talking about in one of my preview breakdown videos and tonight that Greg is probably my final two guy. And he's got a lot going for him. He's got tons of presence in the previews. He's got, the first impression rose, good edit, night one. He's got every recipe for going really far, and even could be a top pick. But my theory is that typically in the previews they will showcase one person a ton, and they do that because I guess they feel kind of safe to do that because it's not actually the person who wins or something. I did a whole video on the season preview looking back at Juan Pablo's and Claire, who was the runner-up on that season. Completely all over the previews. The eventual winner, not so much. And then there was Ben as well, was someone who was all over the previews for Claire / Tasha's season. Michelle, even though she wasn't in Matt James' night one cast, came like episode 4, she was in the previews. And she, she was in the previews quite a bit. And ended up being the runner-up there. So I also think that they sometimes do that because they like certain people before the season even begins. And if you can set up those people for success, all the better for you. Like they will have men who they think are contenders and might be someone that the lead likes, or women for the Bachelor, and usually they put those people out like in primo limo entrance spots and certain things. They do little things that can sort of help them out. For example, Sean Lowe was the first one out of the limo, and he said that because he said he was the first one out because they said that they liked him. They thought he was a really good guy for the season, and potentially going forward could be someone that they would use. He didn't say that last part, but the producers are thinking long term, right? So I think it was Thomas who was I noted down. Thomas was the first one out of the limo. But essentially what I'm saying is, with Greg, what they could be doing is getting us very familiar with Greg, liking Greg, and then sort of pushing us, the viewer, in the direction of, hey, we'd love to see Greg be the Bachelor. It's super early to tell, who knows, but it's the theory I'm working on. And Kaleidosaurus, again, thank you for the super chat. My best friend's husband's cousin is a cast member. He got 0.2 seconds of screen time, but got a rose. Will send any fun, no spoiler details, I hear. That's amazing. I don't who is it? You'll have to post something or post in chat who it is, or maybe you don't want to. But the 0.2 seconds of screen time probably we can at least narrow that down to like half the guys. But that's always cool. I always hear people, the other Connor C, former baseball player. The non-cat Connor. Cool, that's cool. That's really, really cool. My guess is, well, I'll tell you one thing. I think Connor C, the other Connor, the non-cat Connor, probably won't be in my in my top 4. The 0.2 seconds of screen time, though, gives it away. So, but that's always kind of cool. You hear stories of people who applied to the show or almost got on the show, but I've never known anyone personally. I've known by 2 degrees of separation, someone who was on The Amazing Race Canada. And I went to school with someone who was on Big Brother Canada. but I'm never on like The Bachelor or Bachelorette Canada or anything like that. The way through a woman's heart is through her pets. Absolutely. Like you gotta get along with the pets. Like, you gotta love my dogs. It's a red flag if you don't. But maybe Bao will be in Michelle's season. Yeah, Bao was missing. Bao had a lot of pre-season hype going for him from the photos. So I think there is a chance that they throw him in for Michelle's season. Maybe they saw that and thought, let's move him up for Michelle. Maybe, I don't know. So Yeah, if I have a video, if you search Bachelor Fantag dogs, I did a video back when we were at 50K subs. With that was my sort of sub goal for 50K. And if you search that in YouTube, you'll see the video. It's from a little while ago, but you can meet my dogs and their story. It's just a neat little fun video. So. Do you think Mike the Virgin will be similar to Luke P? I wonder if they will portray him as a villain. My initial impression is no. He's not going to be like Luke P level of villain, Bachelor villain. Just based off of, it seems like, I don't know, they've edited it a bit to make it feel like this is going to be like a big clash of things, but there's not a ton of footage of him. With like Luke P, there were tons and tons and tons of shots from the previews, all of Luke P and drama, and he seems to be encompassed in sort of one section of the preview, and so I think it'll be a thing for an episode or two, but I don't think it's going to be... I think it might be a little overblown. That's my first impression on it. So, we'll see. We'll see. I don't think he's also going to last. I think in the preview they sort of were like kind of implying that he'll make it far, because if he's talking about, virginity and sex, that he's like making it near fantasy suites, and I don't buy that. I think that can be sort of talked about any time. It'll be maybe a mid-season storyline is my guess. So I don't think it'll necessarily be a big villainous arc or anything like that, but that's just my impression. And Anna, thank you for the super chat. Really, really appreciate it. Happy birthday. It's so nice to have these streams back. I would love it if you and Dave Neal teamed up for something this season. Thank you so much for the support. Yeah, no, I'm open. I'm open to all sorts of podcasts, people. Usually if you ask nice, I'll be a part of whatever. But I'm glad to have you back, and glad to be back doing streams. We have, like, from now until, like mid-March straight of Bachelor content. Because we're doing Bachelorette Katie, and then we're going to Bachelor in Paradise. And after that, it's going to be... Well, I'm going to look to cover Bachelor in Paradise Canada as well, because there's going to be, like, Kevin Wendt is the bartender there, and then after that is Bachelorette with Michelle, and then they're going to do Bachelor in January, and then that ends, early mid-March, and then we're going straight till then. So there's going to be a lot going down to cover over the next while. We've got a lot of content ahead of us before the next off-season. I think that there'll be a small off-season in between Paradise and Bachelorette, but we'll fill that with Bachelor Canada. And I want to see if I can fit in a little bit of the Bachelorette Australia, which I have. The woman who's the Bachelorette Australia is I believe bisexual, and so there's going to be both men and women on the season, and she was also in a couple of videos that I covered. Like, I've done a few videos on Bachelor in Paradise Australia, and and she was in one of the videos that I did on the like Alex Nation stuff from Paradise. So I'd like to see if I can fit in at least a video on that. I don't know if I'll be able to fill in like do week to week breakdowns of it, because there's just so much coming out. But I want to definitely try to fit in at least like a video on it. Yeah, I think it'll be good. I'm hopeful it'll be done tastefully. And if not, we'll read it to shreds for being crap. Yeah, Bachelor AU is usually pretty good. Usually pretty good. So, Connor is everything Goatfoot Girl could and should have been. Maybe Connor will meet Goatfoot Lady in Paradise. If he's not with Katie right now. So, yeah, there's always Paradise for the matches. So we'll see. I'm looking forward to that. I have high hopes for the season. Because I felt like the Bachelor or Bachelorette AU has been, in terms of like production quality, pretty strong. Closest to well, the American one is pretty trashy, but sometimes. But I have faith. Like a long while when the channel was first starting, the very first off season, I covered the Bachelor UK and did like a one video full season recap, and that was a little more rough around the edges. So. Oh, and someone's saying, I miss Lauren Zima and Roses and Rose. Do you think it'll ever happen again for her? I don't know, but so tonight I when I was live tweeting, I did a Chris Harrison tweet where I made like a Photoshop image of Chris Harrison coming out of the box like he's trying to sneak back in to the show, and someone else, as like, you know, it happens all the time, like took the tweet and tweeted it themselves, and Lauren Zima liked that tweet. The person who stole my tweet, basically. And I only saw that person's tweet because, like, I follow a ton of just the Bachelor Nation people, and Lauren Zima liked that. So I don't know what that means. Maybe y'all can interpret that for me. That tweet about Chris Harrison, but it seems like she's sort of like staying out of the scene with Chris Harrison. So my tweet was, "You're not fooling anybody, Chris Harrison." With Chris Harrison coming out of the box, like he's got the mustache from Peter's season on, and then someone else took the image and tweeted out their own tweet with it, and Lauren Zima liked it with basically the same caption, and I thought, like, interesting. Like, that she's reacting in that way. I don't know what that means. And I'm only bringing this up because maybe someone else can tell me, because I don't know what, like, do you think Abigail could be a potential candidate for Bachelor in Paradise since she has all of a sudden gone silent on Instagram? I follow her. Yeah, that's very possible. Some people, I saw a thing, there was like a Reddit thread about speculation on who is going to be in Paradise. Yeah, Lauren and Chris are still together. And Lauren's not really doing her typical Bachelor content because I think, I don't know, there's out of respect for Chris, or, there's like, or out of respect for the relationship. But yeah, there's like a Reddit thread that I saw that was talking about, what was it? It was a bunch of women from Bachelor Instagram were all getting their like hair done and getting things done on like a certain same day. So they were speculating that all of them are going to paradise. I think the silence speaks volumes. Because there are some people who are tweeting about paradise or posting about paradise on Instagram, and it makes me think they're not going to paradise because you want to feed off of the like speculation, for followers. I don't know. And I'm guessing, yes, Bachelor in Paradise will probably still be in quarantine. So we'll see. But all right, folks, we're going to be coming now to the end of the live stream because Fanteka's got to get up bright and early and start working on a recap video. I'm looking forward to it because I feel like I've already got some funny stuff in my mind ready to go. So, if you've got any last questions, we'll get them up now, and then Fantake saying goodbye. Do you think anyone from Listen to Your Heart will be on Bachelor in Paradise? I don't think so. I think they would have if there had been a Paradise last year. There would have, but not this year. Not with so much time since Listen to Your Heart is on, and a whole plethora of cast members to choose from like Claire Tayshia season, Peter season, and Katie season, Matt James season. There's going to be a lot of options. So, I mean, it's possible, but I think probably not. What about the seniors? Yeah, so I think they are. They're still sort of planning the seniors show. I did a video on it actually this offseason. What about the seniors edition of the show? And the latest I've heard is that they are planning for like the Listen to Your Heart time slot for next year. So like after The Bachelor, that like April-ish next year. I think it makes sense. I think with the pandemic and stuff, it's not something that they were able to or wanting to do, or it was too difficult. And getting a whole bunch of seniors over this past year to like go in and quarantine and do all that for a TV show, I think it just wasn't going to happen. So... So Victoria F has gone quiet on social media, so she's likely there. Yeah, I that's I think that's a definite possibility. Sort of makes sense. But who knows? Like the Bachelor people control so much of your social media at this point if you're contractually tied in with them, so you never quite know. But I think they're going to mention the Andrew S. Clay connection. I don't know if they're going to do it on the show, but one of the Bachelor producers tweeted about it tonight. So Andrew S. is like Clay's cousin? I can't remember, but he Robert Mills tweeted tweeted it out. Or I guess he's not really a producer. He like runs the reality TV department at ABC now. But he tweeted that out. So I don't think they're trying to hide it, I guess is what we're saying. What do you think about the Piper Brendan rumors? I've seen it. I don't know how serious it is because I haven't really like followed it. It seems like it would be something, I don't know, maybe like either we'll see in Paradise or they won't go to Paradise because they're serious. But it sounds like both of those people seem like prime candidates for Paradise. So, yeah, and here's a good note to end on. I hope that we really get to know people this season. That was missing in Matt's season, and I 100% agree. And I felt that was something that was showcased in Tayshia's season, and one thing that made it so much better. I sometimes wonder if they fell kind of backwards into that because of the bubble and they didn't have a lot of time to prepare. That just kind of they had to throw it together and push through and get the season done. And maybe because of that they didn't have the maniacal planning that they normally had, but they were prepared for Matt James' season. So I'm hoping, like many people are saying here, that this season will be more romance focused. We'll see. I'm hopeful as well because the previews seem to be less like trashy dramatic, and no one in this initial cast of guys really came across as like horrible. So here's to hoping it stays that way. But all right, everyone, good night. Have a wonderful night. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for all the birthday wishes, the super chats and everything, the members. Really, really, really appreciate it. We've got a long year of Bachelor content on the way. And stay tuned for the preview, the recap tomorrow. Recaps are back. And then preview breakdown after that. They're gonna be big ones. Night 1 and first season preview are always that way. So thank you all for joining. Bachelor Fan Take out. I didn't prepare any kind of closing goodbye graphic, so this is what you're getting. Good night, everybody.